think it was 83 and 84, John Curtin came on, and he was the utilities director in Bryan, Ohio. John called me and wanted to know if I would assist him in getting a mutual aid program going like they had in Indiana. After we got it all together and got it approved by the staff at AMP Ohio and everyone, then it came, well, let's see how it's going to work when something happens. And that was 84 when we actually got the program approved. And it was 1985, the end of May, that tornado hit Newton Falls.
It was unbelievable. It looked like a bomb went off. I mean, it was total destruction everywhere. Houses, pieces of houses, and trees and poles and everything. But I think the following day we started getting mutual aid from AMP Ohio, which without that we would have totally been lost.
We arrived early in the morning and it was still dark, and then when the sun came up, it was just beyond anything that you could imagine, really. The trees were a real tell sign because of the way they were twisted. I've never seen that before or after. You know, it looked like somebody put an egg beater up there and just twisted them around. Concrete and brick buildings just totally laying down in the middle of the street. Cars that were picked up and moved quite some distance. It's something that is just kind of crazy in a way, because it was so bad that we all just kind of were in awe of it. So the response was very strong. I can remember a lot of the people that were there. It was a very good team at the time. We had a lot of good people there working very hard. We took a lot of poles. I remember taking, I think it was 23 poles on our pole trailer. It took us like 2 hours to get there, and that first day we had put them all back in the ground.
What we did was we told the people in Newton Falls, give us your system, and when we get done, we'll give it back to you. In a week we were done, and I look back on that, and I don't know how we did that. I don't know how, with the people we had, with the damage that was there, that everybody that could have electricity had electricity. When we first looked at that, we were talking 3 weeks to a month.
The alignment that comes with the mutual aid program, when everybody works for the single goal of helping the host, I think it's key there. Everybody knew what needed to be done, and it's still that way today.
Quite a sight and quite a relief. Before AMP Ohio, everybody was pretty much a standalone community. You know, you might have relations with one or two within close proximity, but once AMP Ohio entered into the system, it kind of united these smaller communities, and you know, with numbers you gain power and you gain strength.
You know, I think mutual aid is one of the core services that AMP is able to offer. You know, it and safety, I think, probably rank up there pretty high, you know, side by side with each other. It's hard for our member communities to find help outside of leaning on each other. Most of the contractor crews get allocated out to the investor-owned utilities. And I think, you know, really until our program became formalized and we had a good way to get communities connected, you know, not just the neighbors, but having a Hamilton go all the way up to help Wadsworth, you know, getting those guys connected, I think has really strengthened the program over time.
The neat thing about how the program's organized now is so easy to facilitate getting assistance to a community. We have 6 sectors that are color coordinated throughout the 135 members in 9 states. Every sector has a coordinator and a backup coordinator. And really with one phone call, if you need help, you're able to get a hold of your sector coordinator and get the process rolling.
The footprint has grown so much that we had to change the agreements, because now you were dealing with interstate agreements. So we had to get everybody re-sign that original agreement. And at the same time, we had decided that we were going to participate in the APPA out of network agreement. So there's two separate agreements there. And both of them were challenging to get folks to sign, but they very much were needed, and we used them both quite a bit.
To my knowledge, in the early days, there was only a small number of members willing to participate compared to the total number of AMP members. Today, that number thankfully has grown, and I'm sure it's due to the fact that the members can see the advantages of having a large number of members willing to answer the call in time of need. I get a great sense of self-gratification being able to help those that are in real need, and to understand what it's like to provide the service back to customers when, you know, that they need their power back on is something that you don't really understand it unless you're able to do it.
You know, I can remember when we responded to West Virginia, and the village manager, who's since retired, you know, she made the point to come up to me and thank me for coming to help. And you know, you don't forget those kind of things. I tell our employees, you know, helping other members is really the most important thing we can do.
I think AMP Ohio has come a long way, and I really wish them a happy 50th and a happy 100th. And of course, I won't be here for the 100th, but I often wonder where the utilities would be, where the municipals would be if it wasn't for the leadership and the employees at AMP.
I haven't been involved with AMP for the full 50 years, but I've been involved since '98, and I've, you know, really AMP's transformed to meet the members' changing needs in the time that I've been here. Looking forward to working hand in hand on the needs of the membership, and congratulations on where we're at today, what's been accomplished in 50 years, and what we're going to accomplish in the next 5 years.
Well, just want to thank AMP for their first 50 years and congratulate them for a job well done, and is a very well-run organization and very beneficial to all our member communities. And hopefully the next 50 years goes as smooth as the previous 50. So congratulations.
Well, I'd like to wish AMP the 50-year anniversary best wishes. Public Power was very good to me. AMP was very good to me, and I know that in another 50 years we'll be having that kind of situation again with other people. Those that came before us really provided us a path for those that came after, and I think it's very appreciated by all.
Congratulations to AMP, all the members, its entire staff for a job well done. I sincerely hope that AMP continues to flourish over the next 50 years as well. And I have to say, I get great comfort knowing that AMP is here for us.